Hey guys, in today's video, I want to talk about Apple's next major update, iOS 19. Yes, can you believe we're only about 5 months away as of the filming of this video from the first beta for Apple's next major update, iOS 19. Yes, I know it seems kind of crazy. iOS 18 just recently released and Apple is already working on their next major update, and we could see the first beta within the next 5 months. Now, keep in mind that every year throughout the first or second week of June, Apple would host a WWDC, the Worldwide Developers Conference, and at this conference is when we get the first beta for their next major update. And this year, obviously, that will be iOS 19, and I'm sure Apple is working on a ton of new Apple Intelligent and AI features to come to the iPhone. But in this video, I want to talk about my personal wish list features and changes that I hope Apple will bring to the iPhone with the next major update, and that is to all iPhones. So let's go ahead and dive right into this video. Now, with iOS 18, Apple added the ability to lock individual apps with Face ID or Touch ID authentication by long pressing on the icon and selecting the ability to lock to request Face ID to enter this application, right? However, that option is not available for settings. I don't know if you guys knew that, but if you long press in settings, you can't lock it with Face ID or Touch ID authentication, which puts a lot of users at risk for other users to actually grab their phone and change options throughout the OS. Now, I know Apple has certain security sections locked with Face ID, such as passcode and things like that, but I've heard stories of users going into iCloud settings, going into the Find My network options, and enabling location services for friends and family members on their Find My network, and therefore changing location settings on devices, and even things like personal information, payment information, iCloud settings, other options, health options as well. I think it would be great for Apple to expand on the Touch ID and Face ID authentication that they added with iOS 18 and allow this option to also integrate in settings for individual options and settings. Now, I have this jailbroken iPhone here running iOS 14, believe it or not, and I have a jailbreak tweak here that allows me to do this. And let me show you an example how this would work. So the tweak is called BioProtect. Right there it is. This jailbreak tweak here, if I tap into the specific section here to change the option, it won't let me. I have to use Face ID to unlock the settings in order to make any adjustments or changes to that particular tweak. So something like this I think would be ideal for Apple to add to the settings application within iOS 19. I think expanding on Face ID and Touch ID authentication, even inside of applications, would be great to lock certain options in settings. Let me know what you think about that one. So next I want to talk about Airpods. Now, Airpods are so popular. Basically, most iPhone users do own a pair of Airpods. However, there's one thing missing from Airpods, and that is the ability to manually check for updates for AirPods. Now, when you connect your AirPods to your iPhone, you see this new option appearing where you can control your AirPods and different features for AirPods. So right here in just a couple of seconds, this option should populate here in settings. Let me quit the settings app here, and there we go. We have the options for AirPods. Right here, you can control your AirPods, find out what the latest firmware update is, as you can see right here, but there isn't any manual way to update these AirPods on iPhone just yet. And now I'm sure Apple wants to have a seamless experience, so all you have to do to update your AirPods is make sure they have enough juice, right, enough power, and they're paired to your iPhone, and let them sit next to each other, and any update available should happen in the background. Now, with the release of iOS 18, Apple added some nice new capabilities and changes to AirPods. However, some users may not want to update to the latest AirPods update, so having the ability to manually choose whether you want to update your AirPods or not, it's going to be a great addition. I think Apple should definitely add this option to AirPods within iOS 19. So for the iPhone, obviously, you can choose whether you want to update your iPhone automatically or not, and you can even go ahead and change these options in settings here. So I think having those same options for AirPods will be ideal for users that don't want to update their AirPods to the latest update, or they just simply want to manually update their AirPods. Now, when it comes to the app switcher, we have two different app switchers, one for iPadOS and one for iOS on iPhone. So we have this carousel app switcher option on iPhone, but I would love to see a second option made available for iPhone users. And I'm gonna go back to this jailbroken iPhone here as an example where you can use the iPad's app switcher on your iPhone. Now, let me know what you think about something like this. I think most users would prefer this actually because you see more of your apps at a glance. It is easier to use the current app switcher one-handed, right? So if you're holding your iPhone one-handed, this seems to be a lot easier to control and manage. But I think having a second option option for the iPad app switcher on iPhone would be ideal for many uses, right? So I think many iPhone users would prefer this. I know I would. Let me know what you think about an iPad app switcher coming to the iPhone. Even the animation is so cool. So let me know if that's something you would like to see personally. Now, next I want to talk about the lock screen, because with iOS 18, Apple gave us a ton of new options to customize the lock screen, and I'm really digging, right? We have the new options to customize these shortcuts to whatever you want. We have the ability to change the font size and even color, but I think Apple could do a little bit better. I think Apple should add the ability to further customize the lock screen, for example, with different themes and clocks available for the lock screen. And here's a quick example. So I'm running this application here that gives me this really cool flip looking style clock here, very similar to what we see with standby mode. I think Apple should bring those options over to the lock screen to further customize the date and the time. So I know most users would probably prefer a clock that looks a little something like this, other than the boring one that you can't really move and change location. You see it right there. Yes, you can change the font and the width of the actual font and things like that, even the color, but I think additional customization options, especially for the clock and themes for the lock screen, I think would be ideal for iOS 19 to expand on those types of customizations. We already got a bunch of customizations with iOS 18, and I think Apple could do a lot better with iOS 19. Let me know what you think about those additional options to customize. Now, last but not least, and I think everyone is thinking about this, I think Apple should bring stability, battery life improvements, and overall performance stability. Now, keep in mind that iOS 18 launched and it was a bit of a buggy system, and I think iOS 19 and Apple should work on making this software as stable as possible. Even if they don't bring too many features and changes, I think most users would prefer great battery life, stability, and performance improvements overall. Now, there you guys have it. These are going to be my wish list features for iOS 19. Again, we're approximately 5 months away from the first beta. Obviously, I'll continue covering this software. Apple is set to be working on a ton of Apple Intelligent features. Again, the first or second week of June, WWDC 2025. I can't wait. Let me know in those comments down below if you agree with some of these changes that I'm looking forward to or hoping to see, and what are some of the changes you are hoping to see with Apple's next major update. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.